We started in Cavite City in 1960 by my Lola Intang, Jacinta Nocon, and my mom, my nanay, Crisanta Nocon Trias, and my tatay, Ignacio Dua, who's part Chinese. Unfortunately, we don't speak Chinese at all. We speak Chapacano a little, un poquito, pero we are more of the true Caviteño. I'm Sunny Lua. I'm the second generation of Nocon Trias Lua family. Since I became an orphan when my parents passed away, I took over the reins of running the restaurant. The restaurant started by accident because of the big fire that happened in 1960 that destroyed the whole downtown, the commercial area of Cavite City. And then, being resourceful as they were, my lola was, in her younger days, was one of the cusineras ng bayan of Salinas, now Rosario, Cavite. So instead of mopping and dwelling on whatever they lost, they started cooking one-pot dish. Like since walang kuryente, nag-brown out, they started with bopis, which was then called gopes. Being a Caviteño, it's gopes. Bopis is more of a Manila term. Now, from one pot, it just grew to about 60 plus kinds of dishes na turo-turo style. Until 2015, we were in Cavite City. But because of the flooding and some unfortunate incidents, I was forced and I followed my heart to move to a higher elevation. And I found a place here in Silang, Cavite. We're almost in Tagaytay, but we are proud to be part of Silang, Cavite because of the perfect, excellent weather and the lush greenery of the place, where we can get most of our ingredients from the neighborhood. There are so many farms, organic farms, and then the meat is fresh, the people are nice. So, we only do Caviteño heirloom artisanal recipes. We don't copy other provinces' famous dishes. We only do what my family's recipe that made them the good person that they were. So I don't see any reason why I should not share it to the world. We try to be as authentic and as original as possible to my lolas and my parents' recipe. We started the craze of the pancit pusit. It was a lowly pusit sotanghon na masabaw, but I tweaked it to a more contemporary mainstream dish. If there's pancit malabon, pancit bato, if there's pancit hab, why not give the Caviteños their own pancit pusit? Since kami noon, coastal, lowlander ako. So that started the craze. Our dishes are mostly procured from within 10 to 12 kilometer radius. We try to be as much as possible 80 to 90% pure Caviteño. would notice some of our dishes are in Spanish, but it's in Chabacano. Because of my heritage. I was born and raised in Cavite City, and I'm a proud Caviteño. So it's about time for the world, not just for the Philippines, but for the world to know that there is Cavite. We've been part of the first and second Madrid fusion, and some food connoisseur and food enthusiasts are championing. We just made it in Paris. With the Pasit Pusit brought us there, in Italy, and we've been written from all continents. It's a bragging right, yes, but I am proud what started as just an advocacy to vindicate Asiong's and vindicate Caviteño cuisine has turned into something else. But all of this, all of everything that we enjoy now are because of God's grace. Challenges began during the ash fall. We were closed for 5 weeks with no electricity. So we have to move more than 24 hours a day just to be ready again. But unfortunately, it left a stigma. People from Manila, they don't want to come to Tagaytay because of the ashes and the sulfuric smell. So while operating for 2 weeks and losing a lot of money and stocks, then COVID came. We were closed for more than 4 months, I guess, with the flip-flopping decision open and close, open and close. The real hardship was how to make both ends meet. You have your overhead, you have your rentals and all, and you have your suppliers. And most of all, you have your employees to think about. It should be their welfare first. So it took away 4 years of whatever I started. I'm back to square one. But then, just to keep my sanity intact, I decided to donate face shields just on the onset of the pandemic. Since wala kaming magawa, I started making from remnants, leftover materials of my cake, the acetate film, and I made a prototype. Then my niece and her mother-in-law, they donated a certain amount, and then another nurse from Brunei, and many seminarians gave their workforce. Before, we were just 3 of us working. For 50 pieces, it would take 3 days. But with the 28 seminarians, they can make 200 pieces in one sitting. So we were able to make 4,000 plus pieces to give away for free to all the towns of Cavite. And then it trickled down to Laguna, to Binabatan Albay, and some even brought to Korea and Canada. It's a moral obligation on my part, especially I guess for everybody, is to help one another in uncertain times. I just continued working without expecting anything in return. I'm quite proud of that. Before they even gave the protocol, the mandate to do the necessary precautions, safety precautions, long before, I started doing my part, like the foot bath, the face shield, the mask, since anyway, we're physically apart. our scanners. I have the fog machine, the nano mist sprayer. We clean every customer leaves the table. Everything is disinfected. We boil from morning to sundown all the utensils. And if ever people would require disposable ones, we have. It's not plastic, it's wood, which is more costly. And we didn't even increase our price.
Yes.
It's really difficult to make a profit, a decent profit now because of the overhead. Just to keep the place running and to keep a sense of security to our clients, to our dear and valued clients. We would like them to enjoy a safe place, a safe haven where they can dine. And another thing, the shortness of manpower. Many of my old employees cannot make it back because they live somewhere else. Na-lockdown sila, walang public transport. So I resorted in hiring people around the neighborhood. So bayanihan din kami. Asiong is now open to accept our dear and regular guests and new ones to a safe restaurant that you'll enjoy the food. It's nothing fancy. I'm not a chef. I'm just a home cook. But I will offer you the kind of food that nourished body and souls my ancestors. Let's try to be local, help people, help the community para mas mabilis po ang pagbangon natin ulit. If you come here, you try to enjoy the scenery, the cool weather, the clean, crisp air of Silang, and you'll enjoy it. I promise you. Thank you. Tara, Cavite tayo.